Good morning students. Today in this video we are going to learn about methods and approaches for teaching social science. This is the fifth unit. First we are going to see about lecture method. You all know what is lecture method. Lecture method is nothing but it is a traditional or oldest method of teaching, isn't it? Oldest method of teaching where the teacher delivers the content and the students sit and listen and take notes of the lecture. So lecture method is the oldest method of teaching. The teacher explains the concept in simple and understandable language. So here the teacher explains the concepts, whatever the concept may be, the teacher explains the concept in a simple and understandable language. So you should teach them in a simple language. You should use a simple language so that the students can understand it. Okay, if you are using high difficult language or higher level of language, the students cannot be able to understand the concept. So the teacher should use simple and understandable language, and the teacher neither should make use of textbooks nor any other method. Here the teacher will not use many textbooks to teach. The teacher will be having the notes. She will prepare the notes and hints, and making use of the hints the teacher will deliver the lecture. And it is a primary, and it can be it is in different forms. It can be lecture method can be in different forms, like in the primary and middle level the teacher will use it like storytelling and giving examples. So through storytelling we can give the lectures and giving examples, the primary level. And high school level, a narration and explanation. The teacher used to narrate the things, narrate the events, and explanations will be given. Merits of lecture method. So what are the merits? So how it is useful? So it motivates the students. It motivates the students to listen to the teacher, and it also has it inspires the students to listen to the lectures, and it facilitates rapport between the teacher and the students. While giving the lecture, the teacher and student will be having a cordial relationship. There will be a rapport between the teacher and the students. They will be having a cordial relationship, and it is an important method to clarify concepts. So through this method, while using the lecture method, it is easy for the teacher to clarify the concepts. Like the teacher can teach the lessons in a faster way, and the concepts can be explained in a clear way. Okay. It develops listening skill of students. So while you are go on listening to the lectures, the students will be able to develop their listening skills. So listening skill will be developed. That is, in a shorter period, the teacher will be giving delivering the lessons. The students will capture the lessons and they will take notes of it. So their listening skill will improve, and it saves time and energy. So while giving lecture, you can within a short period of time, you can teach a lot of concepts. So it saves time and energy also. There is no need for the teacher to spend more energy. It saves time and energy. It is more useful for brilliant students. So through this lecture method, the brilliant students can benefit from it, because within a short period, the teacher will deliver more concepts, and it will be clear, and the doubts will be clarified now and then, and it is useful for the brilliant students, and it helps in the implementation of other methods. So here lecture method is not meant for only lectures. Whatever method you are using it, like demonstration or storytelling, whatever method you are using it, discussion method, whatever method may be, every method make use of this lecture method. Because for example, when you are using a demonstration method, so a demonstration, when you are doing the experiment, teaching the experiment to the students, the teacher will be giving them the lecture, that is how to make use of that, how to do the experiments. So what are the apparatus that they are going to use, and what is the use of that apparatus, and what we are going to experiment, what will be the results. So these things will be explained through lecture method. So it helps in the implementation of other methods. Limitations of lecture method. Here, while you are using the lecture method, the students become inactive. That is, the students don't have any role to play. They will sit in the place and they will listen to the lectures. So they become inactive. There is no activity among the students. It may include irrelevant materials. Sometimes we may deviate from the topics. Irrelevant materials will be included in that. So we should be very careful while using the lecture method. We should not deviate from the topic. Okay, it encourages self-effort by the students. It discourages the self-effort by the students. So here, for example, if you are giving a project method or using project method or assignment, the students will go and find in the library or internet. They will learn on their own. Here, while you are using the lecture method, the students they don't have to put any self-effort, because the teacher will be giving all the contents and she will deliver through lecture. So it discourages the self-effort. The students don't have to go and search knowledge. Only by listening to the lecture, the students will be getting the knowledge. So it discourages self-effort by the students. Next, every teacher is not expert enough to deliver lecture. But sometimes some teachers may not be good in delivering lectures. Okay. So here, while you are using the lecture method, we should take some precautions, like because lecture method sometimes students may feel bored. So we should take some precautions. So we'll see what are the precautions. Lecture should be restricted to the topic in hand. So we should not go beyond the topic. The lecture should consistent with the topics, and it should present with proper voice modulation and gestures. The teacher should present the lecture with voice modulation. The teacher cannot go on in the same way. There should be some voice modulation, and the teacher should have some body languages, should use the body languages, otherwise the students will feel bored and they will get diverted. So next, students should include humorous anecdotes. That is, you should, in between the lecture, you should give some examples, real life examples, or sometimes you may have to say some jokes, so that it will become interesting. And should be brief and to the point with example. And the lecture should be in a brief manner. It should not go very long. It should be brief and to the point. That is, you should not go deviate from the topic, and give with proper examples. It should be brief and to the point with examples. Lecture should be followed by questions to ascertain whether the students have grasped and doubt should be removed. So after giving lecture, what the teacher has to do, she should raise some questions, so that we can know whether the students have understood it or not. And sometimes when the students having doubts, we can clarify the doubts. So lecture should be followed by questions to ascertain whether the students have grasped and doubts should be removed. Lecture should be followed by some kind of written works. Then after giving lecture and question answers, you should give some assignments, so that they will not forget it. They will go home and they will recall the things, and we should do some written work. Next is discussion method. So here, discussion method is an important method in teaching social sciences. Sometimes we should not rely on only the lecture method. Sometimes we used to have different methods of teaching. Okay, discussion method is one way of teaching social science. It is an important method of teaching social science. You all know the meaning of discussion. Discussion means when you are having conversation with the students. So we should have the conversation, there should be interaction between the student and the teacher. And the teacher and the taught clarify concepts, get problems and their solutions, and get doubts cleared. Through discussion method, the teacher and the students will clarify the concepts. What the concepts will be clarified. They will discuss the topics, and there will be some problems. That is, the problem solving ability will be developed among the students, and they will find solution to the problems, and sometimes doubts can be clarified. Through discussions we can reach some conclusions. So when we are having discussion, we can come to a conclusion. So now we will see how we have to conduct the discussion method, procedure of discussion. So what you have to do, first thing is you have to give preparation stage. First is preparation stage. That is, what is preparation stage? Here, when you are going to give teach a concept in the discussion method, you should see the topic, whether the topic is suitable for discussion method. So the teacher has to choose the topic which will be suitable for discussion. So the precaution, that is, the first step is the teacher should choose the topic which is suitable for discussion, and the teacher should tell the students, inform the students that we will be having a discussion on this particular topic on a particular day. That is, the teacher should give the students some time for preparation. So for example, 10 days time, we can give 1 week or 10 days time. That is, next week we will have the discussion on this topic. So you have to give the topic to the students, and you can give, you also should give some reference books. You should mention the reference books. Let the children go to the library and find the and read the concepts. So that the children will have the points to speak. Okay. So preparation stage, the teacher should choose the topic which is relevant for discussion method, and should inform the students, should give time limit, time for preparation. So these things should be done. So after preparation, on that day of conducting, second stage is conduct. So after preparation, on the day of conducting, so because we have informed them, after this day we will be having the discussion. So on that day, you should tell the students, you should make them to sit in a proper way, like in a circle method or face to face. The children should face each other. Okay. So sitting arrangement should be made, and then the teacher should start. First the teacher or the teacher can nominate a student who is very good. Okay, nominate the students. So that first we should give introduction. That is, we are going to have discussion on this topic. So after that, let the discussion to start. So the students will be coming out with their points. They will have discussions, and ask the students to take notes of it. The important points can be taken into, and sometimes you can ask the student, one of the student, to write the important points on the blackboard also. Let the students take notes of it. Okay. So and then at the end of this discussion, we should have an evaluation. So that is the third stage, evaluation. So after the discussion is over, the teacher should evaluate the procedure. So how we have done, what are the points are relevant points, what are irrelevant points, how it can be improved, or sometimes the students may not understand what is being told. So the teacher can evaluate the points and give and clear the doubts. So conducting preparation stage, conducting the discussion, and the evaluation. So three parts are there for discussion method. While conducting the discussion, the teacher should see that not only the one. Sometimes some students will dominate the others. They will go on giving the points. They will not allow other people to speak. So we should see that everyone get the chance. Okay. Now we will see the disadvantages of discussion method. So it is a psychological method. Here it is a psychological method because it satisfies the students' desire to speak it out. So it is a psychological method. While the students are giving answers, they are taking part in the discussion, they feel that they have some valid points to speak. They are given some chances to speak. So it is a psychological method, and it is an important method of clarifying the issues. So while you are having discussions, we can find solutions, isn't it? Usually when you are having some problem at home also, we used to discuss with our parents or friends, isn't it? So through discussion we can come to a conclusion, isn't it? So it is an important method of clarifying the issues. It helps in collective thinking. Here when you are having discussion, we can get the others' ideas also. We may think in a one way, and some other people will be thinking in a different way. So we will get different ideas. Collective thinking will be encouraged, and it helps in the development of personality. So whenever we are given chance, whenever they are given the chance, their personality improves because they feel that we can also take part in the decision making method or discussion process. And their personality, so they will be in future also, when they are facing problem, they can come to a conclusion or they can have discussions, so their personality improves. It helps in the development of democratic values. So here discussion method, everyone will be given the chance to speak. So we are encouraging the democratic values, that is freedom of speech, and it helps in discovering the student's ability. It helps in discovering the student's ability. So when you are having discussion method, every children will be taking part in the discussion. So it is helpful for the teacher to identify the students who are very important. Sometimes we may not notice that each and every children, that there will be some children who may be sitting in the last bench, they will not take part in anything, but they will be having ideas. So while we are taking part in the discussion, we can see and see the children's ability, and we can identify them. Limitations of discussion method. Every method has its own positive points and negative points. So also discussion method. So here, what are the limitations of discussion method? There is a possibility of teacher or some student dominating the proceedings of discussion. So sometimes the teacher may dominate. The teacher will not allow the teacher may say there is a discussion will be taken place, but the teacher will go on speaking. She will dominate the group. So, or sometimes some students, one or two students will be dominating. They will go on giving points. They will go on speak. They will not allow other students to speak. So there is a possibility of teacher or some students dominating the proceedings of the discussion. So you should avoid that. And all the topics are not amenable to discussions. That is, all the points or all the topics cannot be discussed. There are some topics that can be discussed. So we should choose the topic which is suitable for discussion, and it is a time consuming. So it takes much time to have discussion, because within a short period we cannot go teach all the concepts through discussion. So for example, we will take only one topic in a one period. So but instead, if you are taking lecture method, you can complete 2 or 3 topics, 3 concepts. So it is time consuming, and it is not useful for small children. We cannot apply this method to the small children, because small children may not be knowing how to speak. They will not, they cannot think on their own. So it is not useful for small children, and every teacher cannot make use of this method. And as told earlier, it is not possible for all the teachers to make use of this method of teaching. Thank you, friends.